Hi there, I'm Dr. Rose, and today I want to invite you into a conversation that many people quietly avoid. Sexual health, especially after 50, it's often wrapped in silence as if even mentioning it makes us feel less than weak somehow. But let me tell you something, after years of working with men like you, Navy veterans, retired teachers, devoted fathers, I have learned that the things that hurt us the most are often the very things that can bring us closer to the people we love. Have you ever felt that way? One of my patients, Michael, in his early 60s, once told me, Laura, I don't feel like myself anymore. I haven't said anything to my wife because I'm afraid she'll look at me differently. And I understood. Because when the body changes, when erections don't come as easily, when desire slows down, what we fear losing isn't just physical ability, it's the feeling of being wanted, being close, being a man. But you know what's amazing? This body, this heart, it can heal. It can still love. It can still rediscover joy. And that's what we're going to talk about today, not as doctor and patient, but as two friends trying to make sense of this next chapter in life together. Have you ever thought that sexual health is just as important as heart health or blood pressure? A lot of folks think that once you're past 50, sex becomes a luxury, maybe even unnecessary. But the truth is different. Sex isn't just a physical act. It's connection. It's warmth. It's how we feel alive, how we feel loved, seen, and wanted. I once had a 70-year-old man say to me, I don't need much. I just want to feel like my wife still looks at me the way she used to. You see, sexuality is a natural part of being human, and in older age, it doesn't disappear. It simply evolves. When you take care of your sexual health, you're also nurturing your joy, your confidence, and your connection with your partner. A healthy, intimate life can be the foundation for a youthful spirit, for deeper closeness, and for a truly fulfilled later life. Think of the human body like a finely tuned machine. Over time, some parts slow down. Erectile dysfunction, or ED, isn't a sign of failure. It's your body's quiet way of saying, hey, pay attention to me. Physically, ED often stems from things we already know. Poor circulation, hardened arteries, from high cholesterol, high blood pressure, or diabetes. All of these can reduce blood flow to the penis, and as you might guess, blood is the fuel for an erection. Then there's testosterone, the hormone that fuels desire and vitality. It tends to drop as we age, and if the pelvic muscles that support erections aren't exercised, they weaken too. In other words, ED isn't just a bedroom issue. It's a message from your heart, your hormones, your circulation. And if you listen early enough, it can be the beginning of a healthier life. Not just in the bedroom, but every single day. Now imagine this. Each morning you take a brisk walk in the park, breathing deeply, letting your heart find its rhythm. You're not just exercising, you're restoring blood flow, strengthening your heart, and yes, bringing life back to your sex life. One of the best ways to tackle ED from the root is movement. Simple aerobic exercises like brisk walking or cycling can boost circulation, which is key for firm erections. Have you heard of Kegel exercises? They may seem small, but they're powerful. A few minutes a day strengthens the pelvic floor, the muscles that hold everything in place. Your diet matters too. Foods rich in nitric oxide, like beets, watermelon, and leafy greens, help open up blood vessels, allowing blood to flow where it needs to go. And the best part, these changes don't just help in the bedroom. They boost your energy, lift your mood, and may even help you live longer. It's not just about sex, it's about loving yourself enough to feel fully alive again. Now think back to the last time you felt anxious. Heart racing, cold hands, a mind spinning with what-ifs. When it comes to intimacy, those feelings often intensify, but no one really talks about them. Many men I've spoken to say the problem isn't physical, it's mental. Fear of failure, fear of disappointing their partner, or simply feeling unattractive. Those thoughts can quietly pull us away from real connection. Stress, anxiety, pressure, low self-esteem, They all interfere with arousal. Because when your mind isn't at ease, your body won't respond naturally. That's why sexual health is deeply tied to emotional well-being. Practices like deep breathing, mindfulness, or even just being present can help break the cycle of worry. And above all, remember this: opening up doesn't make you weak. Having an honest conversation with your partner about what you're feeling can become a bridge of love that draws you closer beyond the silence. I want you to imagine this. Instead of stepping into an intimate moment, feeling the pressure to perform, you enter it like an explorer. No stress, no rush, just presence and connection. The solution to the emotional struggles around ED doesn't come from trying harder. It comes from easing the pressure and coming back to yourself. I've seen people change their lives just by building one small habit: sitting still for 5 minutes each morning, breathing deeply and slowly. Simple practices like meditation, mindful breathing, or even emotional journaling don't just calm your mind, they help rebuild the connection between your body and your emotions. And if starting feels hard, then just start with a conversation. When you open up to your partner, without blame, without hiding, you're doing something incredibly brave. That kind of honesty is often where healing begins. You might be thinking, this is something I have to deal with on my own. But the truth is, ED is a journey that two people can walk through together, with understanding, listening, and yes, gentleness. Don't see it as a weakness, see it as an opportunity to reconnect from the heart, not just from the body. I once had a conversation with a patient. He sat across from me, eyes cast down, voice quiet. "I think my time has passed, Doc." But what moved me most was when he came back a few months later, after the right treatment, smiling brightly, eyes full of life. He hadn't just regained function, he had rediscovered himself. You see, sometimes we all need a little support, and that's perfectly okay. Medical solutions today are safe, varied, and effective. For example, medications that help improve blood flow, like sildenafil, can give you the confidence to start fresh. But remember, these only work well when desire and emotional connection are still present. If you're someone who'd rather avoid medication, low-intensity shockwave therapy is becoming a popular option. It helps your body naturally create new blood vessels. And if low testosterone is part of the issue, hormone therapy can restore your energy and libido. Even treatments like acupuncture have shown promise in reducing stress and improving circulation. What matters most is this: don't self-diagnose and don't suffer in silence. Your body deserves to be heard, to be cared for in a way that fits you. Talk to a doctor. Let medicine be your ally, not because you're broken, but because you value yourself and your relationship. Have you noticed the simplest things, like regular meals, restful sleep, or a short daily walk, are actually the roots of lasting sexual health? I worked with a man in his early 60s. No medication, no complicated treatment. He just started exercising regularly, cleaned up his diet, got better sleep, and gradually cut back on sugar and greasy food. 6 months later, not only was his blood pressure stable, but his sex life had revived too. And the best part, he felt confident again, a kind of natural, effortless confidence. We often think ED is just a standalone issue, but it's really a mirror of your overall health, especially heart health. The tiny blood vessels that support sensitive areas are often the first to be affected by aging or silent inflammation from poor diet. So, if you're wondering where to start by caring for your body every single day. Get enough healthy fats, eat clean protein, sleep deeply, and limit sugar, alcohol, and smoking. This isn't just a fix for sexual performance. It's a gift you give yourself for living longer, stronger, and more fully. Remember, sexual wellness isn't something that ends with age. It's a new chapter where awareness and proper care can lead to deeper connection and real freedom. Have you ever found yourself avoiding eye contact with your partner? Not because you don't love them, but because there's this unspoken discomfort you can't quite name, that invisible distance it grows. Not because the love is gone, but because things are left unsaid. I've met many men who choose silence when dealing with erectile dysfunction. They're afraid of being judged, afraid they're no longer a real man. So they shrink inward. But that silence over time doesn't just hurt them, it hurts their partners too. Many women have told me they felt rejected. They thought their husbands no longer loved them, when in reality both were just afraid to start the conversation. So I want you to imagine this. What if, instead of hiding, you opened up? What if you said, "This is really hard to talk about, but I don't want to keep it from you anymore"? That honesty, that vulnerability, it can be the first bridge back to connection, to healing, to that beautiful closeness you once shared. I believe real courage isn't about pretending to be strong. It's about being willing to speak your truth. Let your story be heard not as a complaint, but as a beginning. And sometimes, all it takes is a gentle touch, or one look of understanding, to remind you you're not alone. Now take just 1 minute, close your eyes and ask yourself, am I living in alignment with what my heart truly longs for? Sex at 50, 60, or even beyond isn't just physical anymore. It becomes about connection. It's a language of love. It's a space where you can simply be yourself without walls, without roles. But sadly, many people let go of that joy just because they think, well, at my age, this is just how it is. But here's the truth. Science has shown it clearly. When you improve blood flow balance, your hormones manage stress and stay emotionally connected to your partner. Not only can your sex life come back to life, but your entire quality of life can improve. I've seen couples who are already retired rediscover their second honeymoon. They didn't become young again, but they loved each other more deeply, more honestly, because they chose to face things together. They chose to change, and they chose to nurture their happiness. You can do that too. Don't let age be the excuse that stops you from living fully. Be curious. Try things that make your body and soul feel alive. Every small step, a nourishing meal, a gentle workout, an honest talk brings you closer to freedom, to connection, and to a life no longer limited by old beliefs. Growing older isn't the end, it's your chance to rewrite how you want to live. And I believe you deserve a brand new chapter, vibrant, emotional, and truly your own. Now I get it, for many people paying attention to their sexual health at this age might feel strange. You might even ask yourself, isn't it too late to change? But with all my heart and with years of experience, I want to tell you, it is never too late. I once worked with a patient named George. He was 68. When he walked into my clinic, he didn't look anxious. He just looked sad. He said, "I'm not afraid of the condition. I'm afraid my wife will think I don't love her anymore." That sentence stopped me in my tracks. But from that moment on, we began a journey not just to support his sexual health, but to help him reconnect with his courage, with his wife, and with gratitude for his own body. Because in the end, taking care of your sexual health isn't just about being able to perform again. It's about listening to your body, understanding your emotions, and showing up in your relationship not as a stranger, but as yourself. And the most beautiful part, when you start even slowly, even if it's hard, you're sending a message to yourself that says, I still matter. I still have love to give. I still have the right to feel joy. This journey doesn't ask for perfection. It only asks for one thing, that you choose to begin with kindness toward yourself and with belief that something good is still waiting ahead. If there's one thing I hope you take away from this video, it's this. Sexual health is not a luxury. It's not something just for the young. And it's definitely not something you should suffer through in silence. It's a natural, even sacred part of being human, even at 60, 70 or beyond. Please remember, the changes in your body aren't the end. They are simply a gentle reminder that it's time to tune in to nourish yourself with knowledge, with patience, and with love. You're not alone, and you don't have to hide. When you dare to speak up when you care, when you take that first step, you're already doing something incredibly brave. So keep going with curiosity, with compassion for yourself, and with a little hope. that every day you can move closer to the connection, joy, and meaning you deserve. I'm Dr. Rose, and I'll always be here cheering you on to live fully, both in your spirit and in your beautifully human moments. If anything I shared today touched you, even just a little, please leave a comment below. You never know, your story might be the light someone else is looking for. And if you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you won't miss more honest, heart-centered videos about aging well and living deeply. We're building a community where age doesn't disconnect us. It brings us closer to what really matters. Love, truth, and freedom. I hope to see you in the next video, and please be kind to yourself, because you are so worth it.